I often get asked, how long does it take to get a cloud job? And the answer depends on a few factors. So I'm going to go into that in today's video. Now, if you've been on YouTube for some time, you've probably seen videos, people saying you can get into a cloud job earning 6 figures in 30 days, 60 days, or something like that. Look, the reality is that the story is a little bit different today. It's a little bit harder to get into jobs today than it was like 3 or 4 years ago, but the opportunity is very strong for people with the right skill set. So what I want to do is give you a very realistic timeline today on how long does it take to go from zero to a cloud job. And I've trained thousands of students, and I've worked with hiring managers and recruiters and all sorts of different cloud professionals. So I have a pretty strong idea of this. Now we'll look at 2 different scenarios. So one is that zero means that you have no tech experience whatsoever. The other is that zero means that you have tech experience, but you have no cloud experience. And of course, that has some impact on how long it takes. So let's walk through the 2 different scenarios. I'll start off with those who have no tech background whatsoever. So the reality here is if you have no tech background, there is a few things that you've got to learn before you learn cloud. Now, cloud is essentially a service model that's built on technology, a lot of which has existed for many, many years. So we have compute, so the servers, the systems which actually process data. We have storage systems where we store data. We've got the networks connecting them together. We've got databases, operating systems like Windows and Linux and Mac OS. We've got virtualization software, containerization, and then some of the security aspects that we need to understand. So you've got to learn about these different building blocks because that's what makes up the infrastructure layer that sits underneath cloud computing. So you need to know networking, what is a subnet, what is DNS, what are IP addressing. You need to know how to use Windows as well as Linux, and the command line is very, very useful. You need to understand what virtual machines are with virtualization software. So once you've got those foundations, you can then start to learn cloud computing. So I would recommend from a timeline perspective that to get those foundations, at least 4 to 6 weeks. So you're learning some of those IT building blocks, some of the security aspects, operating systems, command line, those types of things. Now, the better you learn those building blocks, the easier things become later on. I see people trying to learn cloud computing, they still don't understand networking, and then they're trying to build virtual private clouds where we have to define subnets and CIDR block ranges and things like that, and they just don't understand those concepts. So get comfortable with those before you move into cloud computing. Then you can move through to the cloud fundamentals. Now, for someone who is a beginner, I recommend you start with the Cloud Practitioner. It's more of a theoretical certification than a hands-on certification, but if you do our training, for example, you will still get very hands-on. What you'll learn in the Cloud Practitioner certification is what the cloud is, what the benefits are it brings to businesses. You'll learn about the core AWS services, the shared responsibility model, pricing models, security concepts, the global infrastructure, the data centers and all the pieces that make up the cloud. So this is going to take another few weeks because you're starting from that sort of beginner point of view. So you can rush through the certification if you are more advanced, or skip it completely in some cases. But for someone who's a beginner, add another 4 weeks in there, up to 6 weeks at the top end. Now, at this point, after you've learned those fundamentals, you've learned the Cloud Practitioner and passed the exam, so maybe you're 2 to 3 months in at this point, you're not quite job ready yet. The reality is the Cloud Practitioner is not going to land you a job. You do need to get up to the associate level, which is the next rung up in the certification ladder at AWS. So my recommendation for the vast majority of you is do the Solutions Architect Associate certification. It's going to cover a broad set of services on AWS at a deeper level than the Cloud Practitioner does. You'll learn about how to architect and design applications. You learn some more advanced scenarios, and you get much, much, much more hands-on. Now, if you've done the Cloud Practitioner first, it's going to help you with the Solutions Architect because you've already learned the fundamentals. Now you're going the next level of depth. I recommend 4 to 8 weeks here. A lot of people who are beginners, and of course it really depends how many hours you're putting in a day to study, are going to take closer to the 6 to 8 weeks time for this. Now, the last piece that you absolutely need to land a job today is projects and a portfolio that you can demonstrate to employers. So what you've got to do here is you've actually got to have something that you can showcase through articles, through GitHub repositories, even videos and things like that can be super useful as well. So this is something that shows to an employer clear that you know what you're doing. So the realistic timeline for scenario one, someone starting from no tech background whatsoever. Foundations, we're talking 4 to 6 weeks. Cloud Practitioner, also 4 to 6 weeks. Solutions Architect, 4 to 8 weeks. And then a few more weeks for the project work and maybe doing your personal brand. So making sure that all your resume and all that kind of stuff is looking really, really good online. So it's really about 4 to 6 months to go from complete beginner to job ready. Okay, so let's move to scenario two. This is tech professionals who are then moving to cloud. So you might already have some background working in technology for some years. You hopefully at that point understand compute storage, networking, databases. You know what those things are. You might have some experience with the command line on Linux and you've used Windows and all those types of different operating systems. So that gives you a big start because you understand the building blocks. So maybe you come from a system admin background, network engineering, software development, support, security professional, databases, whatever your background is, you should, if you've been working in technology for some years, have that sort of understanding of those fundamental building blocks. So now what you can do is you can skip the Cloud Practitioner foundational level and go straight to the associate level. So again, usually for most people, start with the Solutions Architect Associate. You can do the Developer Associate if you're leaning more towards CI/CD pipelines and DevOps related jobs. But for most other jobs, the Solutions Architect Associate is a good certification to get. Now, just a quick one from me, from my perspective, I would just do the Cloud Practitioner anyway, because if you have that tech background, you're going to be able to get through it within, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks. And so you're going to find it a lot easier than someone who comes from no tech background. Now, one of the advantages is once you pass an AWS exam, you get a token that gives you 50% off your next exam. And that keeps happening. So every time you pass an exam, you get 50% off the next exam. So when you do your Cloud Practitioner, you'll get a discount on your Solutions Architect Associate, which is, I think at the time I'm recording this, it's $100 for the Cloud Practitioner, $150 for the Solutions Architect. So you actually get your Cloud Practitioner cert very, very cheap. Now, with the Solutions Architect Associate, that's going to give you, again, the right level to start looking more towards getting some employment in the industry. However, I would recommend that you do something else as well. So you might want to do the Developer Associate, or you might want to do an adjacent technology like Terraform. Now, on the Developer Associate, because CI/CD pipelines and development is obviously a major part of most organizations, if you do the Solutions Architect Associate, it doesn't include those elements. But the main thing is you've learned so much about AWS at that point that the Developer Associate can be a relatively fast timeline towards getting that exam, because there's a lot of overlap between the two exams. So you just got to learn what the differences are. It might be another 3 or 4 weeks to get the Developer Associate, and that broadens your horizons somewhat. Or you go, as I said, to an adjacent technology like Terraform, maybe with a HashiCorp Terraform Associate certification. That demonstrates that you have the infrastructure as code tools to use Terraform, which is in many, many organizations today. Now, again, at every level, project experience is essential. So whether you come from no tech background or a tech background, you still need to have a portfolio of project work that you can demonstrate to employers. That's going to help you to land the job, as well as, of course, doing the work on your personal brand, updating your resume, your LinkedIn profile, all of those different things. So the realistic timeline for scenario 2 could be 4 to 8 weeks for the associate level certification. A second certification like the Developer Associate might only take 3 or 4 weeks, and it might take you a little bit longer for something like the Terraform Associate because you're starting from scratch. Then several more weeks for building out your projects and your personal branding. So this can be 3 to 4 months, maybe a bit longer, depending, of course, on how much time you actually put into your training and also which certifications you actually end up taking. Now, the job market today is definitely a challenging job market. So I will just talk a little bit more about projects and portfolio, because that is one of the most essential things that you can do today to land a job. So what employers are looking at today is they're often going to put you into technical interviews. A technical interview can be a practical interview in which they actually ask you to complete some tests or answer some questions that might be a scenario-based sort of question, where they're really looking to understand your ability to deploy applications, manage applications, whatever it is you're going to do in the job role. The ability to really do the job and hit the ground running when they hire you. They don't want to train you on the job these days. They want to find people who can actually do the job job from day one. So you need to make sure you've got that experience. There are different ways to get that experience. You can find some project work online. There's some hands-on, and most training, our training all includes hands-on, so you can actually start practicing with building in AWS. But you need to go beyond traditional hands-on labs and go into more sort of real-world projects, something that mirrors what actually happens in the workplace. This can be a little harder to find. You might be able to do it with other people if you can find groups to join. We have this in our Cloud Mastery Bootcamp. We go way deeper than we do in our other training. So in the Cloud Mastery Bootcamp, you go into a lot more complex projects, capstones, skills assessments. And one of the most valuable things we have in our bootcamp program is something called group collaboration workshops, where we essentially give an assignment to different groups of students and they go off just like they would in the real world and work as a team to solve problems, present solutions back to us. We give feedback and then they go off and revise them, and actually they end up building working applications. So I highly recommend that you get that type of experience. That's the type of thing that really lands people jobs today. I hope you found this video useful, and if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our channel.